An ice storm hit the central part of the USA. A record cold swept the eastern part of the United States of America, and an ice storm swept through the central states and hit the Atlantic coast of the country. The US National Weather Service said the ice storm covered Missouri, Arkansas, southern Illinois, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana and Ohio. In some places, the thickness of the ice crust on the roads reaches almost 3 centimeters. Already known about 1 dead in a traffic accident caused by icing. In general, more than 250 accidents occurred in the state of Arkansas in 6 hours. Not without casualties, 12 people received injuries of moderate severity. From the weight of the ice, there are breaks in power lines, which leads to power outages in many areas. An earthquake of magnitude 6.2 occurred on the territory of the Indonesian island of Sumatra. The epicenter of the earthquake was located at a distance of 7.5 miles northeast of West Pasaman, West Sumatra at a depth of 6 miles. The shock was felt in nearby settlements. Just a few minutes later, an aftershock with a magnitude of 5.2 and 7 aftershocks with a maximum magnitude of 3.9 were recorded. It is reported that the earthquake was of such magnitude that tremors were felt in the capital Jakarta, where some residents began to leave their homes in a panic. According to preliminary data, more than 150 houses were damaged, some were completely destroyed. At the moment, the rescue and fire brigades are conducting door-to-door detours, providing the necessary assistance to the population. As a result of this event, 4 people died. More than 20 received injuries of varying severity. Strong wind hit several cities in Turkey. Hatay and Osmaniye suffered the most. 2 people died after a roof collapsed due to gale-force winds in Dörtyol Province. It is noted that a strong southwest wind is recorded in most of Turkey. The maximum wind gusts that were recorded this morning were 62 miles per second. In many provinces, the hurricane tears off the roofs of houses and destroys structures. The Turkish Meteorological Directorate has issued an orange warning for 17 provinces where strong winds are expected. Dozens of scorched trees, torn roofs from buildings, and fallen poles of power lines have already been noted. The authorities are already engaged in the liquidation of the consequences after the violence of the elements. Some areas remain without power supply. Several regions of Queensland in Australia were underwater after a stormy night with heavy rain and thunderstorms. As predicted by meteorologists, heavy rainfall is not leaving the region. A severe weather warning is currently in effect from Bundaberg to the northern Gold Coast due to flash floods. According to local media reports, 11 inches of rain fell in 24 hours. The Bureau of Meteorology has issued a red weather alert, warning that at least 8 inches of rain is expected over the next 24 hours. People are being evacuated from the affected areas, and some of the residents are already waiting for rescuers on the roofs of their houses. Flood levels range from 11 inches to 20 inches. Authorities in the Australian state of Queensland are urging motorists not to use motorways. It is noted that Queensland Fire and Emergency Services have taken part in more than 30 rescue operations in the past 24 hours. Heavy precipitation, which has been observed for about 5 days in the village of Dörtyol in the Sea of Marmara region, did not pass without a trace. There was a landslide, as a result of which 17 houses were damaged, which are located in the immediate vicinity. Residents are worried about the incessant rains, which may further provoke the movement of the ground. Entrances and exits to the microdistrict were closed due to collapses of houses, gardens and roads. During inspections carried out by the teams, 17 houses were found to be in danger of collapse. In order to avoid accidents, The townspeople were evacuated from their houses. In the area of the landslide, where the rains continued, collapses and deep cracks occurred in places. Shifts occurred in the cemetery, as a result of which several burials were exposed. Work is underway to strengthen the soil. Argentine firefighters continue to fight devastating wildfires in the Corrientes region, which have already burned more than 3,474 square miles of land. According to local media, in 2 of the 6 major fires that rage in the region, 30% of the localization of the fire was achieved. The province of Corrientes is experiencing a terrible disaster caused by these fires. Wildfires burned farmland and wetlands, killing cows, horses, monkeys, deer, alligators and birds. The fire has reached the Ibarra National Park, one of the world's largest freshwater swamps. Some of the footage shows the animals fleeing from the flames. Authorities say that in addition to arson, a combination of global climate change, prolonged drought and land clearing for rice fields and livestock is the main cause of the wildfires. After lunch it began to rain in several areas of the province. See how firefighters rejoice at this event. Hurricane wind hit some areas of the city of Johannesburg in South Africa. In the suburbs, a strong wind with gusts of 62 miles per second was recorded, which caused torn roofs from houses, fallen trees. In addition, the strongest wind in the suburbs of Johannesburg destroyed about 1,000 houses. Rescuers organized shelters for the victims. Such weather conditions are quite rare in South Africa at this time of the year. Usually a strong wind on the southern coast of Africa, blowing from early autumn to mid-spring. The locals gave it the name Cape Doctor because of the belief that it cleanses the city of pollution and infection. At the moment, damage is being assessed after the rampage of the elements. Work is underway to restore the infrastructure. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good wind and weather.